Arachne, you are contracted to kill the semi-popular podcast hosts of the Attack Action Podcast with the new blade I have bestowed upon you. Go now and do my bidding. Holy smokes, it's Arachne. I am such a big fan of yours. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Stab, stab. Oh no, I've been stabbed twice. Oh, why, Arachne? Why? Oh, yeah, it is I, Karl Marx.
Going to play some flesh and blood. Oh, hey Arachne, that's a cool sword. What's that called? Oh, hi Mark. My name's not Mark. Oh, God, Arachne, what are you doing, man? I thought we were cool. What's happening to you? Why am I Mark Ruffalo?
Hey Arachne, have you seen my old friends, Lexi or Oldham? Heh, no. Uzuri sends her regards. Oh, I think I'm gonna have to sit down. Oh, the truth really is stranger than fiction. What kind of dagger is that? Oh, this? Hehehe.
Reinar, I hope we get some good blue sixes this time. Yeah, that'd be great, but I hope you don't give me up to play Arachne. Speaking of Arachne, hey Arachne, how's it going?
You're mine. Stab. Stab.
Oh no, we've been Harmoned! Marked! We got marked!
Welcome to the Attack Action Podcast.
Sheesh, that was a doozy.
What do we normally say? Oh, yeah. Hello, Attactioneers. Welcome to the Attack Action Podcast. I'm your host, Karl Marx.
And I'm your host, Mark Ruffalo.
And I'm your host, Mark Twain.
And I've been marked Harmond.
That's it. Cat's out of the bag. It's true. We're here. We got a spoiler. It's the Hunter's Klaive.
Klaive.
Klaive. Or balaclave also. If you're here for our normal podcast, you're going to have to wait 20 to an hour for us to talk about our lives. But first, we're going to talk about how junted we are and our spoiler card, etc. So there you go. And if you want to leave right now, that's totally fine. Go talk about it on the Discord amongst yourselves. Love you. Bye. Okay, here we are. Hunter's Klaive. Greatest card in the set? Yes, no, definitely. Right? Definitely.
I think it does the whole, like, why does this make sense for Marionette? And it's like, oh, because you can literally just hit him with the dagger and turn your hero power on.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And people aren't going to black daggers for an hour.
I mean, greatest card in all of Flesh and Blood? Who's to say? Time will tell. But, historians will look back at the Junted and say, pretty good. Good job.
Pretty.
We don't know if this comes until cold foil because we don't get it till tomorrow at Taylor's house.
Yeah,
but I think it's going to be in cold foil. I don't know if it's going to be, this is the right side dagger. There's not a number for left side, but maybe that's one of the missing cards in the gym ID pack. Who knows?
That's just what they're doing now. RIP to other facing Gravencall,
Unless
we
it's
never
in
got
that
a
pack
left
too.
card?
Yeah.
But yeah, this card's crazy. When we got first sent the file, the card had no context, and we were like, "Huh, that's probably good." And then, as spoilers have trickled in, it's like, "Oh, it is pretty good. Oh, it's really good.
oh, it's literally the hero. Like it's their whole thing. And oh, it's not only chaos. You can play this in Missouri or new or old Arachne. So yeah, this card's wild. It's super fun to get to spoil a dagger, which is kind of the most like quintessential part of assassin. And yeah,
thanks
excited to
LSS.
use-
Thanks
yeah,
everybody.
thanks LSS.
All we had to do was tattoo one of our hosts permanently with Arachne's face, and we got this. So,
And it still didn't matter. Arachne went after him.
That's true. He didn't care at all.
Yeah.
He just
Jeez.
does what he's told, you know?
Yeah, Blake, if you ever want a blue 6 for Reinar, you know what to do right now, bud.
I literally have it. This is the reveal of my fine art tattoo.
A giant
It just says blue 6 across his chest.
Oh my god! Then if that doesn't work, I can just change it to BlueSky and be
They're like a dotted line, and on the dotted line it says blue 6.
okay.
Blue 6 exclamation point on your knuckles.
Oh.
Oh, that is literally 8 letters long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did
These
that
are
quick math.
gold ideas. All right, we're ready for the
Yeah,
next.
this is a Klaive though. I think you know how Mistblade works for the blues for new. Now imagine your marionette and your hero power says if the person is marked and you play a stealth card, it gets +1 and go again. So Hunter's Klaive is Mistblade for every stealth card in your deck for that hero if it hits, which is absolutely disgusting, I think.
Yeah. I mean, what I was also thinking about it today, and I messaged this to you guys, is you can send this dagger, have cards in hand, they block it, and then you instant discard the thing that marks them anyway, and you just say, get fucked, dude.
And
It also is very interesting with graphene Cheliceras, since like
Graphing calculator.
the graphing calculator, because it'll turn on the go again. So the 1/1 can be done off of a blue, which we've never been able to do before.
Yeah, which is nuts.
Yeah.
What's your
Great.
favorite Arachne brood member to turn into with this, you think?
No clue. That's a hard choice. I think there will clearly be one that's everybody's favorite, or that's more important based on the matchup. You know what I mean?
I have a favorite.
Ooh, he has a favorite. Of course, Zane does. I love this about Zane.
Arachne Redback, the one that gives the stealth attacks go again. So if you discard it, gives it +3, and then if it has stealth, it has go again. I think those are like my favorite lines in new, is like hissing into Codex or something, and this is kind of like a similar thing where you give your prognosis +3, it gets go again, then you Codex or whatever after. So that's the one I'm going to be hoping to transform into.
Nice. Maybe my favorite art too. You know,
It's really good. Yeah.
I love a parasol of blades.
Me too. I always say that.
I think Tarantula is going to be good because
Tarantula does seem good.
if you hit with the dagger and now it does 2 and now your opponents are blocking daggers, this one has piercing. I think that's the other thing over Mistblade that it has is Mistblade you can block forever as Kasai, and Hunter's Klaive is going to go straight through it with like too bad so sad for a lot of those. Oh, I'm going to use my second point of damage on my block of my Grasp of the Arknight to not get blown out this turn. Isn't going to work against Klaive at all.
Well, also you can pair it with Scale Peeler, and then so you can lead with Scale Peeler, and they're like, shit, you know? And then you come in with Hunter's Klaive. I know is a lot, you know, like turn cycles where you get a double dagger are pretty rare. You're usually single daggering, but that is dependent, you know, that sort of play line could be worth it because it's so integral to your hero power. And it reminds me, it gives me thoughts of like Outsiders, right? Block Spiders Bite in Limited, you know, Block Spiders Bite or not. Like that's a whole like PhD dissertation, I think you could have about when or when not to do that in your matchup and the context, etc. And it feels like Hunter's Klaive is going to make like the same thing happen to everybody.
Just
And
imagining the college you get that degree in where you wrote your dissertation on Spider's Bite.
The Brian Gottlieb School for Kids Who Don't Read Good.
That's every TCG player, I think.
Yeah.
I also think if you're about to go to the UK for another Pro Tour or play in your nationals, I think this is probably the most like bomb card you could get out of a pack to turn your draft into like, oh, I was in the pod with the Arachne that had the Hunter's Klaive. And
That's
it's
right.
like the
That's
hero power
crazy.
is going to be turned on and disgusting, or you're just going to fatigue your opponent because they have to block every dagger.
Do I have to actually and say, is this going to be an expansion slot? Do we?
I was gonna say
know?
I
It's
have
number 9.
hopes. I have hopes that it will not be printed in a draftable format or like in a draftable sense. However, even if it is, the token dagger is very good. Like
Yeah,
in limited too.
Mark of the Huntsman.
Yeah. So I hope it doesn't. I hope it's not draftable. I might have a Tales of Aria kind of thing where like Winter's Whale was just like, oh, slam it, and my whole draft is now about Winter's Whale.
Also, apparently, just any card's a dagger now.
Oh my gosh, that was
We'll get to that later.
crazy.
Is this in your top 3 daggers of all time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Easy.
Nice.
Okay, name your top 3 daggers.
We're gonna do top 5, I thought.
Oh,
No, we're
we
doing
are?
that later. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, top 3 now then. I like Spider's Bite original because most people have blocks, and I feel like that's the one that's going to hit their hand the most. Hunter's Klaive and Mistblade.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm Scale Peeler number 1. Hunter's Klaive 2. I'll go Mistblade 3.
Oh.
Taylor, give an informed opinion before I just say something stupid.
Raven's Call. Raven's
sorry,
Call.
Karl
Raven's
Marx.
Call.
Graven's Call number 1, clearly the best. Hunter's Klaive number 2, clearly number 2. And then it's a real toss-up between Mistblade and Scale Peeler, but I'm going to go with Scale Peeler because of its broad application to everybody. Boom.
Poor Orbital class left on the chopping room floor.
Bro, I was going to say Orbitoclast is in mine for sure just because it's got a dope name.
And the
Raven
art.
Call,
That art on a bit of class is insane.
Yeah, it goes hard.
Graven Call is also very cool. And, of course, the Hunter's Klaive is my number 1 favorite dagger of all time for Assassins.
Klaive could be one of my new favorite words, too, I feel like.
Klaive.
Could you pass me the Klaive, please?
Yeah. I can't believe it's Klaive.
I can't believe it's not Klaive. Awesome. So what are our feelings on, now that we've seen a lot of cards spoiled, what is the value of marking them, and how do you think this dagger really like changes that, especially like in a CC context? I feel like limited, obviously you're just gonna be trying to mark each other all the time, but like is Mark Ruffalo like the thing we want to do to people all the time? Like, it's good.
Yeah. It's just objectively good, unfortunately. Like it's there's not a lot of nuance at this point from what we can tell. Like just marking is good. Like it gives your cards more text. It turns on your hero ability. Every transformation is desirable. Like it's
Dude,
really
and you don't
strong.
even need to be a chaos assassin to transform anymore. This fucking week has been crazy.
I know.
It's truly.
That's why LA caught on
Like,
fire, because these spoilers are too
oh my
hot.
God.
Oh no.
Yeah, the mask is crazy. At first I was like, huh, okay, I get it. And then I was like, oh shit, I get it. And it's nuts.
Oh shit.
I will forever be sad that Mask of Perdition is just further and further shoved into the corner.
It's
Well,
good.
say that to all contract cards.
Yeah.
I don't think we're
Say that
playing
to their
contracts
face.
anymore where we're going. I think the other thing that blew my mind, because I saw the word marked on Syndra's hero ability. I see it on Fang's hero ability, but it's also on Arachne Brood hero ability. And I was like, marking seems like it's going to be super hard to do. And then as soon as
Yeah.
we got this photo, it was kind of like, it almost seems like it's going to be an assassin heavy thing. If it's so much easier to do an assassin than the other cards, because the other cards aren't on their weapons. We've seen all the weapons for limited play probably. I know this isn't limited, but out of all the daggers that are in this set, the only one that can mark is Arachne's OG like token for that he'll have every time, or they have. Sorry, Arachne. But it is something where like marking seems so much easier in Assassin now because of this card. It almost seems like it's not shoehorned into the Royal Heroes, but you're like they're after Arachne. And then one thing that always pops into my mind is there's got to be like a 2 for 6 card that's the hate card of like if you're marked, this gets +1 damage and unmark yourself. Of if you really hate the hunted heroes that much, you can buy the $20 erase face from this set that gets your mark off.
Erase.
Unmark yourself and get your mark off.
Yeah.
So
There's a mark off chain joke in there for any of my AI machine learning nerds out there.
So just a quick question here. So tag the target is a ninja attack. That's a common. When this hits a hero, mark them, go again. It's head jab basically. That seems pretty. I mean, I guess that's like not as good as whatever the instant discard to just instantly mark them, whatever that one's called. Mark of the Black Widow. No.
I can have all these names up if you want me to do it. The one where we discard is called Reaper's Call.
Reaper's Call. Right.
Oh,
Like
here,
maybe
I've
it's
got-
not as good as that, but in draft you can fill your, you might have 4 copies of tag the target, and in yellow and blue seems good, right? Like spending a whole card to just stop that seems pretty important, right?
Yeah, it's must block.
Yeah. Ooh.
How is anybody looking at these spoiler cards and not being like, I'm gonna play Assassin for the next 2 years? Like,
I have an answer.
Like-
because the other heroes look really strong too. Like ninja.
you're gonna have
that's
to
what,
trick me into that one. Go.
That's what's been getting lost in this is the cards that we've seen for Syndra are crazy. Like the majestic cards that we've seen come out for Syndra are wild. The Wrath of Retribution is insane. It's her sacred art. Blood Runs Deep is insane. Like,
What's that one
Devotion.
that you can the fire one that you can just use it over and over again? 1 for 4.
Devotion never dies. Yeah.
So stupid.
But yeah, I don't know.
That's one thing that we're talking about in our Discord locally is like, oh, you're gonna disrupt Syndra over and over again as an assassin, but the one time you don't, she does a bazillion damage to you. And then I'm like, but what happens to the other 33 heroes that are in the game of like I can't deal with disruption every turn and I can't deal with 35 damage in one turn. Like, do you just sell your collection and go all in on hunted of like, all right, I know that I had a lot of fun decomposing, but that's not going to help when you're hitting me with 4 daggers a turn. And then you go 0 for 6 on a Salt the Wound.
Yeah, I mean, it's somebody had a meme the other day about Enigma waiting room, like all of these heroes that are kind of gate kept by Enigma, just like in a waiting room, like sitting there, and it's which is pretty funny. And you're like, wow, that is kind of a lot of them, but it's like what happens every set basically that comes out except for Rosetta is the heroes come out, they're really strong. That's kind of the meta that happens. And then we slowly start to combat it and figure it out. And then they pop out a new set, and we never
Solve anything.
solve anything, you know?
Zin
then-
wins the first calling after this anyway, and we go, oh, whoops, never mind. Zin,
Yeah, totally.
Zin is actually a strong deck still.
Yeah, we're going to have a thing. We're going to have a tournament, and a Mist Veil hero is going to win it. And we're going to be like, because everybody's going to be like, oh, this hero's broken, that hero's broken. And it'll be like, no, look. And then the argument will perpetuate like, well, the set just came out, so blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, man, it's, and we'll just have that.
No,
And
you're
then-
dumb.
Yeah.
Wait, should
And
we
then
just
they
like
will be broken, and then people will be like, okay, cool. And then all of the memes will be like waiting for freaking Marie Antoinette to get out of here with her brood, So anyway, everybody has that to look forward to.
should we just record all of our podcasts for the whole year right now and do
I did right there. We could just loop that every month.
That was the outline. Well, we can bitch a lot longer than that, I think.
oh, perfect.
Colin, I
I-
like this slideshow you're just kind of doing of
It's
all the
nice.
cool cards.
Thank you.
Swarty drew this one.
Hell yeah.
Oh, by the way, our dagger is a new artist, right? He hasn't done one.
God, now you're gonna make me bring back the other.
You know, I actually didn't check that because I normally do that on February, and our card isn't on February.
I think whenever I
It's
asked
Thomas
back in the day,
Rasuge.
because it was like I don't remember that name at all.
That does not sound familiar.
And if I try to type in, I'm gonna knock my microphone cord out.
Would have been great if they found someone named Mark to draw this one. But
Like Mark Poole.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god! If he started drawing fab cards, I would freak out.
Oh wait, no, this guy's done a couple.
Ooh.
God dang it!
Strike
Is
it
there,
from
are
the
they from
record.
Hunted?
He did a couple in Rosetta. So he did Strength of 4 Seasons. He did the 2
Oh.
Illusionist pieces. He did Calming Cloak, Calming Gesture, and Flutter Steps. And then he did
Wow.
Roiling Fisher as well.
So
Dude,
he's
they
done
are
a
making
bunch of
him
cards.
work.
Blake.
Well,
Yeah.
those
No,
are all
but
very
he's-
recent.
And they're all
very
very. Thank you, Mark Twain has my back. Thank you.
The going to play some flesh and
Flesh and
blood.
blood.
Is like gonna live in my head forever now. By the way, great job, Colin.
Thank you.
Way to be the star of yet another great spoiler video.
The other option was channel the Bleak Boy and freeze my soul.
One, freeze my soul.
Something,
know-
something, flesh and blood.
If enough of you leave some comments, we'll make Blake edit together the director's cut of our video. It has a couple of deleted scenes that we could put back in there.
It's the Snyder cut.
Yeah.
Did you
The spider cut. Let's go.
Ooh,
did
the
you take that
spider cut.
spider's lair and put it off to the side for when you next do Dungeons and Dragons, so you already have your
How do you
setup?
not know that's from Dungeons and Dragons?
I'm not a big dungeon guy.
It's me, Zing.
The miter cut. Okay, there we go.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep these puppets
Yeah, I hope you keep that forever.
forever, and then someone's gonna come into my office and be like, "Why? Who are these people?"
Well, have you ever heard of this game Flesh and Blood? It's kind of like a fighting game, but it's a card game, and it originated in New Zealand. Those Kiwis really know what they're doing.
Yeah, they love Kiwis. You know that much. All right. Well, thank you for watching our spoiler video. I doubt anybody who wanted to see the spoiler watched any of this, but if you did and you liked it, why don't you give us a little like and subscribe down there?
Okay.
You can turn off notifications and just ignore us, but like, subscribe now.
We're working our way to 1,000. So
Yeah, we're
be a
still
part.
working our way to 1,000. Blake did not push us over the top like he said he would. So now I just need to
Oh
beg.
my god. I'll start making Smurf accounts right now.
But thank you, everyone. Thank you, LSS, for including us. It's like so validating to know that you know who we are still. And hopefully you don't dislike this one too. And don't give us another spoiler for 3 more
Oh my
years.
goodness. Let's be
Do
more
you
positive. We'll see you next.
they-
We'll see you next time.
is it because we can't call the stuff they name shit the name it's given? Like
Oh,
we just
us
you know,
mispronouncing Zunted the whole time.
yeah. Or Arachne Marie Antoinette, like
Look, these are nicknames that we create out of love. I give my dog a new nickname every other day, and I would kill a person for her. So, like, it's because I love the game that I enjoy
Nice.
playing in the space that they create for us.
If James White asked you to kill, would you?
No,
No.
absolutely not.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
even know him that well.
Oh. Yeah, me neither. Me neither. Me neither. Me neither.
All right, let's dive into our normal episode and talk about more.
Taylor, what movie
junky
did you watch?
spoilers.
Can I get moved to the bottom left again? I don't know how
I
to do
know, I'm
that. I need an
sorry.
adult.
I'm
Thank you.
sorry.
Need an adult. Well, I think first we should start off with clearly Colin and Blake are safe from the Los Angeles fires, and our hearts and money are going out to support our friends. So please make any donations at the myriad of places that we know are online and being advertised to help anybody in that time of need. I remember in elementary school, just a friend who also went to elementary school, like they had a terrible accident and their just whole house burned down. They were fine, and so were their animals and stuff, but just all of their stuff, which they did not have a lot of, was just gone. And that was one person, and it was like so crazy to like experience that secondhand as a small child. So for for that to be magnified is unbelievable. So help however you can. So it's just really important, and it's
Yep.
like it's like more important sometimes, I feel like, than voting is doing donations to these sort of things, because it is so much more impactful.
I'll put some links in the description as well to some stuff that I personally have supported. The Pasadena Humane Society is doing a lot of great work for the animals that are in trouble out there. Watch Duty has become a app that everybody's fucking using, and they're a nonprofit, which is super cool that they're keeping everyone informed, sometimes too informed. It's been a little stressful getting so many notifications about fires, but yeah. And then just like the fire fund, if you know anybody, friend of a friend who's got a GoFundMe, that's a great way just to support these people, that have literally lost everything. And it's so wild. Like Altadena, where the Eden fire was, is like a high up on our list of places we would have wanted to live if we could have afforded a house. So like dealing with a lot of like weird emotions around feeling very fortunate for moving further away from all of this recently, but also like knowing how close we were to like being very much in a different position. So
Yeah.
It is pretty crazy, and it's been fucked up. It's been fucked
I mean,
up.
Yeah.
I think the weirdest thing is like the nearest fire has been like 4 miles away from me, and like, is this going to jump over and go after the trees near me on my side of the highway? And so there's a 30-minute period where you're like, am I going to evacuate or not? I had some friends closer that we know that we talk about in the Burbank fires, not Burbank, I said the wrong word, Pasadena fires. Altadena fire is next to Pasadena. They're both Dinas. And like, they evacuated to somewhere else and they went elsewhere and had bought things. And then we had some stubborn people be like, I don't need to evacuate. And you're like, okay, I hope I could talk to you tomorrow, or you're not. If you do need to call me at 4 a.m, call me and you can sleep on my couch. But I think the weirdest thing is it's very sad. And I think it's not over, because it's not even just the fire. It's more of like, this is going to be sad for years.
Yeah.
Why is LA not as vibrant as it used to be? It's like the people are going to be fine. It's going to be one of those things like, can I afford to live here still? Or is like, are people going to take advantage of this and like, oh, sorry, we're going to raise your rent because now there's a bunch of rich people that need places to live. And you're like, well, that's not how I thought my LA journey was going to end. Or that's all going through your head as you're like, I hope everyone's okay, as you're watching other people lose everything, as a couple people did die in the fire. And you're like, my life could be so much worse. I didn't have to evacuate. But it's like the depression waves over the weekend of like Saturday, I don't think I left my house and slept for probably 6 extra hours than I needed. And because during the whole part of this, the whole reason why there's a fire is the wind was literally insane. And I'm sitting in my house. There's a big ass tree that is as tall as my 2.5-story place I live with roommates. Of, you can look at it by my kitchen and it goes all the way up past my roommate's part on the top. If that tree falls on this house, and then a tree fell on my neighbor's house, and it's like, I'm not crazy for thinking that can fall over when it literally happens to the next door neighbor. And you're like, and I live on a ravine like terrace where if there's a spark here, I'm toast. So all of this is like, you think it could happen to you because it literally happened to 2 U's of like. And then I did not watch the video, but the video like came out today of the Altadena one of like, here's how this happened, of the like transformer exploded. And you're like, there's a transformer in my backyard. So what's the difference between that and mine? And it's weird because you don't want to be like centering yourself about this, but like that was a very real thing for 5 days in a row of.
Oh, totally. Well, I mean, it's hard not to think about yourself also. And, that's the hard part is like, you think about other people and then you think about yourself because that's a natural human instinct and how fortunate you are. And then you feel guilty for thinking you're so fortunate, but then also how close it's like a hard cycle that is going to come up more often in like our climate changing world. So we'll have emotional tools, hopefully, to deal with it, but we shouldn't, right? Because like that should be so rare that it doesn't become normal to be able to handle. So,
and whenever I was packing my go bag, I did not put my Bolton deck with all the other decks. And I was like, shit, Bolton, look how far you've fallen. I would have left you in the fire and been like, I could replace that or never play Bolton again. And that's what's going through your head of like, I don't know. I left Dash behind. There was a couple decks like that. I don't need these.
Yeah. That being said, I haven't heard anything definitively if like people in our community have been affected directly, but if you know anybody, if you lost some fab stuff, I'd be happy to donate whatever commons, rares, shit that I have to help,
Marvels.
Yeah, but yeah, all the Marvels. I'll give you. No, I don't. Well, maybe we'll see.
We can talk about it.
Talk to Colin in his DMs and let him know which tunic went up in the fire.
Yes. Okay, I'll get you the gold foil tunic. I'm sorry, but no, seriously. Like, if there's any way we can help support people in our community,
absolutely
reach out. I think that's been a lot of it too. Is just reaching out to people in the area. Are you okay? It's like I know, like Bryce just bought a house over in Pasadena. I'm just like, shit, they just have a baby and a house over there. Like, are you guys okay? Haley and Jake out there. Just like, is everybody okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? You need somewhere to go? You come here. Like, it's
yeah.
It was it's just been crazy. But shout out to Cal Fire. Shout out to our our own fireman, Mr. Isaac Jessen. I don't know if he actually got deployed down here, but I know he was preparing.
I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did. My other
Yeah.
friend who's in Cal Fire up here is down there. So
Yeah, he messaged me to check in and see how we were, and I told him if he needed a place to stay, stop by here, but it's not really close to anymore. But anyways, yeah. So, and then I think Blake? Did you want to mention what Haley's doing?
Oh, Haley Neighbors. You remember her from the Challengers thing she did of Uzuri with the eyes, where it was Riptide and whatever. She's doing more of those. She's going to
Or
donate
our
the
100th,
proceeds.
our 100th episode key.
Or
art.
our 100th episode stuff.
Thank
You
you,
remember
Zane.
that? She's really
or
good
posters for the battle hardened Los
at.
Angeles.
Okay.
Or
And
her
San
work
Diego.
on the backgrounds of
TV shows on
Hit
Netflix.
show,
TV shows.
Futurama,
Futurama.
Enchant.
So she's selling things. They're $25 for the normal things, but they're $50 for the cool ones. $50 plus, and she'll donate. I don't know if it's all of it, or I think it's all of it. I don't know. And I don't want to put it.
I think she was saying that like if you donate to a charity, she'll like do a commission for
Oh
you.
yeah, she wants to see your $50 plus donation to one of these charities, and then she'll draw a picture of your favorite. She plays Flesh and Blood. It's not like she's trying to be like, what kind of pose would you like? She's really cool at figuring out exactly what you want.
Yeah, totally.
Go to HaleyNeighbors.com/Instagram.
Boom. She did this
BlueSky.
custom guy right here for me.
Thanks,
Azuri and
kid.
Arachne. Little
Fist
fist
bump.
bump. This friendship, It was
Thanks,
great.
Now you need
Mom.
one
Well,
with
we
all
saw them
8
together.
brood
In the
Yeah.
video.
Reunited.
Yeah.
That
so
was
then we'll
right
get
after he got back and said, "I killed them all."
Yeah. This is at the end.
Yeah, that was the part that Blake edited out.
Oh
Yeah.
no! End
I did
credit
it, Mom.
sequence.
Yeah.
Wait, was that you that did the Uzuri voice too?
Yeah.
Okay, rank your top 5 voices in the comments, everybody.
Yeah.
Well, everyone is going to say my impression of Blake is their number one.
My favorite was when Blake starts to talk as Reinar in his normal voice and then switches.
Oh, yeah, that would be bad, Dude, filming that for me was fucking awful. Like, I was so sick and trying to figure out fucking technology, lighting. Like, if you look at my video, like, the fucking tripod I have is like mechanical, and I'm like, okay, got it centered, perfect, start filming, and then it's like, oh, we got to save the motor, and like resets itself, and I'm like, what is this demon machine? Why won't it just fucking point? And it was just, I was sweating, and it took hours.
I mean, you could
And-
hear the sweat on it, but other than that, it didn't seem like anything was going on.
It was literally 4 minutes of a video that I had to do, and it just was fucking.
I realized what
Took me
was happening when I saw the camera just like flip and point up at something and then smoothly come back. I was like, oh, yeah, that's probably not the. I don't think that tool is is
Totally.
good for what you're
I was
trying
like,
to do.
God damn it, I don't have another option here to do this. And then I saw Blake's video, and I was like, why didn't I do that?
I literally sat on the floor underneath.
What, you did it right there, Blake? Crazy.
If it's not broke. And all this wonderful lighting, too.
I couldn't have filmed mine any faster. It was so smooth and easy. I'm sorry.
God,
Nice.
go fuck yourself, dude.
Well, I had to make it harder for him, so he just had to do it all over again. Because
The hardest
I don't
part
own a
was I had to
printer.
also cut out Zane.
Yeah.
Your puppets are huge. Mine are so small.
I love how big the Hunter's Klaive is on Colin's Arachne.
Dude, he's great.
It really
You gotta see
emphasizes it. It looks good.
Yeah.
And it plays into your sword joke. It was just perfect.
Yeah, I came up with that by accident because I just kept calling it a sword.
It's a Klaive.
And also, shout out to Dennis, the tall, because he posted something about the room. It was like he posted the "Oh hi Mark" clip, and I was just like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna use that." I was like, "This is too good." Oh hi
Shout out to
Mark.
Dennis for a lot of stuff. Very influential.
That's true.
Cool guy.
All right.
Okay,
He's got to
we
quit
did
one,
it.
one Piece and come back over. Okay, what's the last movie you saw, Taylor or Karl Marx?
I forgot it still said Karl Marx. Hilarious. The last movie I saw was 2 movies that I watched half of both of them. One, Dune Part 1, which I actually really love Dune. The sound design and editing in that is so freaking good that like listening to that with noise canceling headphones, just like zoned in is like I've never experienced ASMR, but I feel like I'm on the edge. I'm just like this. I love everything in here about this, just to listen to it. I don't even need to watch the movie, especially because then like Oscar Isaac's like, we conquered whatever planet we're on with sea power and land power. Now we're going to Arrakis. We need to harness desert power. And I'm like, come on, guys. Like, this made it through. Anyway, great.
I think it's literally from the book.
If
it
it
made
is,
it through. I think it's core source material.
great. It's crazy. But so that was awesome. And then I watched half of the Peanut Butter Falcon, which a coworker asked me to watch, and I think I have to finish that movie to see how that ends. Has anybody else seen that
I
film?
thought you watched like the first half of Dune and the second half of Peanut Butter.
No, that would be cool. No. Peanut Butter Falcon is a Shia LaBeouf vessel, and they're like in the bayou, and he's down on his luck and runs into a man who has Down syndrome who has escaped from his prison that's an old folks home, and then they become friends basically on the run from the law and the institution in which he is housed. So you get to see Shia LaBeouf like shirtless, if that's
Shia
cool.
LaBeouf, daddy.
Yeah, totally. Nice. So anyway, it's a cute film so far. I will finish it. There you go. There's my long answer there, Blaketh.
Nice.
Do you
What'd you
frequently
do for Chris?
break movies up as you watch them?
No, I normally will watch all of them in one sitting.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
no, this
crazy.
is atypical for me.
Yeah, Blake's about to ask about Christmas, and I just realized that we haven't done an episode since last month.
This time, almost exactly.
It's our first episode of 2025, and we're proud to announce we have 2 new hosts. No, I'm just kidding.
6 people on the
We
pod.
cut to the 6-pack box.
We're going with the view format, and we're just going to be, a little bit more unhinged.
It's just a profile angle of Taylor and a above shot of Colin. I like that.
Yeah, it's been a while since we all hung out. It's great to see you guys.
I didn't tell you what I did in San Diego the first day I was there.
Hung out with Zane?
No, Zane went to Pasadena when I went
We
to San Diego
switched.
at literally
We
the exact
live-swapped.
time.
Yeah.
Saw each other on the highway. But I first day of San Diego, my mom, she's like, tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., we got to be up so we can go on a whale watching tour. And so I go whale watching. My mom has already done this from bigger boats on like cruise ships in Alaska or something, not to dox my mom, but it is something where we go, and it's a boat that has a mast, and my stepdad is there, so he's old as hell, and he's like, we need back support, so we get put at the very beginning of the boat, front of the boat. Some would say the stern or the whatever. We're right next to the captain's
The bow.
Little bow wow.
The bow is where I'm sitting next to the captain's wheel, and there is a dog there. because the captain cannot hear out of his right ear, so he needs the dog to let him know if something bad is happening. The dog also can smell animals, so it'll bark. We eat at Dunkin' Donuts the hour before this. I get a large
Oh, okay.
frappuccino,
Okay.
and it's a 4-hour boat ride with masts to try and see whales. And pretty soon, within 30 minutes, I realize I will not be making it through this boat ride without throwing up everywhere. I throw up as loud as I've ever thrown up in my entire life in front of 100 people, probably. They
Off
have
the
to give me a
side?
bucket after my mom has already thrown up. My stepdad never threw up, but then 30 minutes later, I threw up a second time because it was like just getting the stuff out of my stomach in waves. And the whole time in between, like the 10 minutes leading up to these throw up incidents, you can literally feel the stuff churning in your stomach and becoming like gas that you need to burp out. And then when you're done burping out the gas, your stomach's like, it's still a problem, bro. You got to do this. And you're just like, oh my God.
Eject.
Then we don't see any whales at all either. And so that was pointless. And there was a thing where it was like, in my mind, I was like, I'm so close. I could jump off of this boat. Would the Coast Guard get here quicker? Because I literally it's an hour in and I'm throwing up of a 4-hour trip. So I have to start dissociating from my body for the next 3 hours because I don't want to look at anybody in the face because they've all heard how loud I am when I'm throwing up. And it's like, it's literally some of the worst thing I've ever been through in probably years. There's so much bad stuff happening in the world, obviously, where you would think that a random money, we paid $250 to go on this excursion too, and it's like, why did we just do that? And it ruined the first 2 days of Christmas break because everyone was like tired from throwing up and like exhausted and didn't want to go anywhere, and you're just like, okay, that was pretty fun, you guys. And they were like, by the way, because you didn't see a whale, you can come back any day for the rest of your life. Just let us know what day you and I was like, bro, I'm not coming. And they had a change jar for you at the end. And I was like, bro, this is the worst experience.
You mean a tip jar?
Yeah, like, oh, tip jar. Yeah, I did not make change or tip. I was like, I do not have cash and my Venmo. There's no way.
This is like that story from the Goonies that Chonk tells, and it's like, and then people started throwing up everywhere, and it was awful.
I leaned over the balcony and it made a sound like this.
Yeah.
It was just a little blue bucket. I filled up 3 times or something. It was like,
You didn't just go off the edge?
No, they don't let you get that close because you could fall over.
Oh, I had a similar experience when I was like 10 years old, and I did just throw up off the side. But different times back then, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, you were 10. They were like, that guy doesn't have a college degree. If he's gone, it doesn't really matter.
It's actually better for us if he doesn't.
Yeah.
Never makes the workforce. It's already impacted.
A few more snacks for us later.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the other thing. They were like, does anybody want some snacks? I was like, my stomach hurts. Let me eat a bag of Cheetos before I throw up the first
I feel like you made a lot of decisions leading up to this.
Okay. That's like the very first basketball game we had this season. I had 2 JV kids in the van with me, and one kid was like, got car sick. Like they both knew they got car sick, and they sit in the back of the van, and it's like literally the windiest road in California. And he goes, I don't feel so good. Could we pull over soon? And I'm like, is this like an immediate emergency? We're like almost there. He's like, oh yeah, it's an emergency. I'm like, okay. So we pull over. He throws up, and he's like, okay, I feel better. And then they all felt woozy, and we like got food at the store because we were plenty early. And then they had a little snack. And one kid is like, boy, I like don't feel good. And he's just like, just still eating. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, I don't know, I just don't feel good. And then like we're on literally a straight road for 0.5 miles straight. There is not a turn. And then I hear him go, oh! He just threw up in his shopping bag the food he just ate. And I was like, What is wrong with you? This is the straightest road. Also, if you didn't feel good, like you're gonna throw up, why did you eat more? So, Blake, I guess there are children
Children
age
are stupid.
14 that you can relate to.
Yeah, and I'm 35, so sometimes these decisions happen. I was like, yeah, I guess if eating a snack calms my stomach, let's do it.
Which is maybe what he was thinking. Zane, what's going on with you, sir?
Man, it's been a busy couple weeks, or I guess a month. Yeah, like we said. For Christmas break, I was all over California. I was in LA. I was in 2 houses over Christmas break that have since burned down. Isn't that crazy?
Jesus.
Including like my wife's grandparents' house that they've had forever. So the fire's been a whole nother story for my wife's family. But yeah, Christmas break was good. Just very busy. A lot of nieces and nephew time. And then I work at a job that's quarterly. So like there's always like Christmas just is it falls at a terrible time, right? It's the end of a quarter, at the end of the year. So then you get back after Christmas break and it's like, great, congrats. Now you're 2 weeks behind doing quarter close. Please do it all right now. And then on top of that, our dog has been having like mild seizures, which has been like a really unpleasant addition to the whole thing. So I feel like I haven't like rested in like a month. But it's all, we're getting through it. Everything is like relatively within control, but yeah, it's been a lot of life, a lot of not a lot of fun, a lot of life stuff in the last couple weeks,
And then your spoiler card gets spoiled the day before you spoil it yourself. God.
If you think you saw the
2025.
spoiler early, no, you didn't.
Yeah, you did not.
You did not.
Shout out to the active suppressing crew out there who were like, "Don't share this. This is so a spoiler." It was like, "Thank you."
Yeah. Anyways, if you saw it and you didn't share it, shout out to you.
Yeah. Shout out to Luna. Great dog. Great vibe. Was in our 100th episode.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's where you might
An official
know that.
Co-host.
Yeah.
True.
That's where you might know her from.
We took her to the dog neurologist yesterday, which I didn't know that was a thing. But
Well, dogs have
like
brains.
Yeah, they were great. The vet there was super helpful. We're doing hoping like one medication will help, and then if not, we have to decide if we're going to spend $5,000 on an MRI or not, which we probably won't, given that $5,000 is a lot of money. But
yep,
it's like 2 uncut sheets.
That's how my 2020 went, Zane. So I can relate to this story as well. Like our dog had a neurological disorder that we had to decide, like, okay, do we go to Davis to figure out what's going on if we can figure it out, is what our vet said. And that was like a really hard time. So I know too much what you're going through.
The first vet visit, they're like, so we're going to run this test, and then you're going to take her to the neurologist, and they're going to run these 2 tests. And then if nothing comes out of those, then we're going to do an MRI. And then if that doesn't show anything, you're going to be $6,000 in the hole, and you're going to know that she doesn't have these 6 things, and you're going to say, maybe she has epilepsy. And we're like, okay, cool.
Hey, fuck this year already. Jesus. Well, I'm sorry, Zane. That's a lot.
All in all, everybody survived. The perspective has been, we've had to shift our perspective a little bit, but everybody was safe for the fires. My dog is currently sleeping, hopefully in the other room. Like, everybody's okay so far. So we'll get through it. Excited for the hunted.
Word.
Okay, Colin, what story do you want to share?
It's good that we're real, This is why our podcast is cool.
I didn't have any story loaded up. My break was fine. I had family here. We had our first guest. There's a bed behind me and art on the wall because I was like, my sister-in-law cannot sleep in a room filled with boxes and my desk. So I put some art. Although I swapped out this one, the Ode to Wrath, because I thought she might feel weird about someone just stabbing a sword down into her face. So I put up another one that was a little more calm and nice. But yeah, we had her and my wife's parents. So we had a full house.
Oh, nice.
And then yeah, we did Christmas all together with my family and hers, and a bunch of my parents always do a big thing, so there's like a lot of other friends and family there. But yeah, basically from before we went on Christmas break for work, not for podcast, until like well into the new year, and I was back at work, I had family in my house. So Jess and I didn't get a lot of time just to like hang out, but we still had a good time. We went on a little trip with her family and all her stepbrothers. There was like 10 of us out in Coachella Valley, which was really a nice time, until we got back, and then some of the siblings started fighting horribly and upsetting the entire family. So that was fun, and I had to help mediate. But we're still working through that. But just a real family, because families fight. That's okay. But yeah, other than that, work is running right into 2025. We got lots of stuff going on this year. It's gonna be crazy. And then everything caught on fire, and then I stopped caring about literally everything else, other than just my friends and family, and so been a weird year. Feel very much like 2020 in that where it's just like, don't go outside. It's dangerous outside. There's smoke and toxic ash everywhere, even 30 miles away. Just everything's covered in a light coat of ash that is made of burning asbestos and cars and all sorts of lead paint and all sorts of crazy shit. So it's kind of wild. And then very worried about the air quality inside the house. Okay, so we had a friend come down. Now I have a story I remember. We have a friend come down because she was worried. She didn't get officially evacuated, but she was very close to the evacuation zone. So she came down to stay with us. And then she was like, "Oh, I'm going to go to IKEA. They have like little air purifiers and air monitors. I'm just going to get some for like my place when I go back." So she comes back, and I was like, "Oh, cool. Let's plug it in." So I plug in the little monitor, and it's only got a red light, a yellow light, and a green light. And it's just immediately full red. And I was like, holy shit. Like, what do you mean the air is bad inside my house? We've kept the doors closed like all week. And I was just like, okay. And then, and I also just have like a low grade cough all the time, which I thought was just normal because of COVID or, whatever. Long COVID, not just having COVID generally. But, and then she starts running the air purifier, and slowly we get to yellow and green, and then I stop coughing, and I was like, I need the best air purifier I can buy, and I also need a crazy monitor to keep tabs on this. So I spent too much money on that, and the air quality in my house has vastly improved. I get little graphs and everything, and every time I cook, it gets really mad at me because apparently releases a lot of particulates and carbon when you do that. So I was just like, holy shit.
Takeout only.
Yeah, I'm never going to cook again. Just for suckers who want to die.
Yeah. That's how I do my life.
So yeah, that's my new obsession is air quality. And yeah, we'll see how we do. Hopefully, everything can stop being actively terrifying and move to just a recovery phase, which, like Blake was saying, it's going to be years. It's crazy how much was lost. So, and it's also crazy driving to work. I can't see a single like smoke plume and I'm driving directly at downtown LA. I know the fire is just over there. I can't see like the active fire from it. So it's like in some ways it's like everything seems fine, which is even weirder.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just been been all over the place. So yeah, the Junted. Let's talk about Flesh and Blood, because
Shout
that
outs
will.
to Sam for being the new LSS content guy. That's our last thing we got to do.
Yeah, I forget what it was. Did they say his official title?
He's like the stream production coordinating manager, overseer, overlord
Content.
guy.
He's chief content
Producer.
producer for
person.
stream.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which I think is great. Like, I think that Sam brings a lot of energy to the streams. I think he cares.
He brings the boom.
He cares very much for like the game itself, the community at large, and the production of the game to the internet, which is a big part of how a game succeeds. So I think he really has like a lot of the key pieces that someone who does that role should do. And he's just he's a good dude to hang out with and chat with. So congrats, Sam.
hell yeah.
I think that exactly.
We, as a podcast, salute Sam.
Yeah. Also, farewell to the M&R podcast, which has stopped being a podcast again. And hello, I guess, to Roger's new podcast.
Roger that.
Roger that. What a weird.
I wonder if he'll have roving people come on like Fresh and Buds does. And then they could be like, hey,
Rivals.
Roger.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, we're just still going over here, doing our thing, you know?
Yeah, as long as they're going to make an assassin set every other time, we'll be here to break it down.
Assassin.
We're gonna have to wait so long for the next one.
Thank God. Honestly,
Probably.
okay, like we got all the
Hopefully.
spoilers for our dagger's probably the last assassin M. The assassin M's, like what more, like everything was covered this time. We got protection against allies, we got discard this to put a trap in your hand, we got do an Uzuri hero power even if you're not Uzuri, but it's better than Uzuri's hero power because you get to keep the Justin Nick trigger. You got a card that's also a dagger, but it's also an attack action. So everything, and then after your opponent, after you give this go again, you can flick the dagger. You can flick the card, and you're just like,
We
oh
also
my
got a
God,
new
creativity.
hat that just said
Legendary hat.
traverse the spider universe and just get your whoever on your brood that you want the most.
Traverse the
You know?
Spider-Verse is an amazing nickname. Shout out to Scott in the Attack Action Podcast Discord. I don't know if you were the first one to come up with it. You were the first one I saw. I feel like you did come up with that because it was very fast. And that is an incredible name.
I saw Frank post it, aka Lazy Dog.
Whoever got to it first,
yeah.
I don't care. That's
It's
a
great.
great name.
It's perfect. Yeah.
Which one is that?
The assassin mask. I don't know what it's called.
Mask of Deceit.
Deceit.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm gonna bring it up.
Bring it on up, cause we're gonna go play some Flesh and Blood. Yeah. Arachne specialization, assassin equipment, blocks for 2. When this defends, become a random agent of chaos. If the attacking hero is marked Harmond, instead choose the agent of chaos. And it's assassin, not chaos assassin, made by Mark Poole. Is the artist.
That's the collab we were looking for.
They really should have done marked pool.
That would have been great. Maybe I'll get mine altered to say that. Pretty insane to just be able to go, well, I guess now I'm just going to become the agent I need right now to win the game, turn it around, checkmate on my opponent, etc. You know, is so powerful.
You just draw all 3 of your tarantula toxins and you go, I'm about to ruin this man's whole day. Lock. I'm now the whatchamacallit. Here's a dagger, all 3 tarantula toxins, and now the dagger comes in for 10, and your opponent just loses 10 health out of nowhere.
Dude,
It's like
and then you
pummeling
just
a Nothos.
Yeah.
People have been doing that for years, man.
It's a
then you just
tried
pop this
and
bad
true.
boy out too.
Yeah.
Just, oh, you're not marked? Okay, let me mark you real quick.
Yeah.
Why do these instant discards have 3 block when the earth ones, yum yum, had 2 block, and the windups for heavy hitters had 2 block? Why is Assassin stronger defense than all of those other heroes? Earth is a defensive class. Even the lightning discards of Triple Light Fantastic were 2 blocks. Why is the instant discard for Assassin 3 blocks? Please make the game fair. I don't know why this is a 3 block for limited.
Well, we have our weapon attacks for 1, Blake. Cost 2, attacks for 1.
And it disrupts my entire turn. So what are we
No, it
talking
doesn't.
about?
No, it doesn't.
Look at this one. This one's trash.
Except
Actually,
for when
this
it's
one's
not. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's pretty good. Take up the mantle also is like really insane.
It's
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
If
It's
I
like
had one of these cards,
crazy. It's also sweet art. This is a name I don't know.
Brutal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we know Henrique.
Yeah.
We
was in our
do?
He was in our last draft. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
we love him.
Okay, great job, Henrique. Target attack action card with stealth gets +2. If it's attacking a marked hero, instead it gets +3. And, which is stupid, you may banish an attack action card with stealth from your graveyard. If you do, the target becomes a copy of the banished card. And it's in a reaction that costs 0, defense for 3. And it's a yellow, so it even has a pitch. This would be nut balls at red.
Okay,
Yeah.
Is
Taylor.
nutball's a scientific term or what?
Taylor,
Yeah.
Henrique Lindner did another iconic assassin attack reaction. I'm going to have you guess which one
Shred.
that might be. That's right.
Okay.
He did shred.
Boom.
The art style should give him away a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
Henrik Linder's been putting in work, dude.
Yeah, he's got some really, really good ones.
So you got your freaking Bonds of Agony in your graveyard. Your opponent's like, I'm totally safe. I'm going to be fine. I'm just going to block a little bit. Boom. Gets over. Now it turns into Bonds. Get effed. Get effed.
Okay.
Well, so the funny thing about the timing of this is that like that card came out and it was like, oh, well, marking surely is a high cost, right? And then we were just like sitting here with our dagger, like, huh.
If the cost by cost you mean 2,
Yeah, it costs 2 resources.
I keep trying to pull up our dagger on Fabre.
I know. It's hard to find, which is good.
Yeah.
This
That'd be
card is-
sad if it was. What the heck?
What's the other one that I thought was pretty crazy, or not crazy, underrated? I think initially it's the anaphylactic shock. Yeah,
Interesting design.
totally. So, what I think
Where was
is,
this 3 years ago?
it like wouldn't have mattered. Are you kidding me? Like, great. Now
I've been
now you're
eaten alive by ash wings, and
your 4 health Maragai is now a 3 health Maragai.
No, it's the Ashwings. It kills Ashwings.
I know.
It
Name
kills Ashwing.
Name 5 times you were overwhelmed by Ashwings, not Maragai, Chromai, and
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 Ashwings.
I think this is super cool because it's a way for you to just kill your opponent on their turn, which I really love. Like Invert Existence is one of my favorite plays, or activate Creepers, pitch into Sonata to find the attack actions you need off of the random flip to also kill your opponent at instant speed. So
reckless swing. That's the one that matters.
yeah, so you're
Steel
at 3
blade
health. You're at 3 health. They're at 1, and they freaking reckless swing you, and then you just trap them, and then they're dead. That would
What
be
do you
so
think
great.
why do you think they made this a trap and an instant?
They made it a trap because of trapdoor. Because it says you tutor a
Oh.
trap, and then now
Yeah,
we just
okay.
saw another spoiler just before we started recording this that says I don't think it's on February yet, but it says discard this, you can go get a trap from your graveyard. So I think they just threw the word trap on it so that it works with those things. But it is weird to see trap not on a defense react.
Yeah.
I think Marionette's going to be a toolbox deck. And
Love
whenever
that.
they do have the 1 health allies, whether it's Necromancer or Dromai Part 2, it's going to be discard your Trapdoor or use your Mask of Deceit to go turn into Trapdoor to go grab your Analeptic Shocks.
Okay, this is the one, and holy, this card is so cool.
This is crazy. Stealth, it's an assassin attack action. It's blue, majestic, attacks for 1. So in a pinch, you can also just a nick this. Discard this, banish target trap from your graveyard. If you do, you may play it this turn. And if it would be put into your graveyard this turn, instead banish it. So you can't trap over and over with the same trap. You eventually will run out of traps, etc. Pretty freaking good.
Art is
I like
so
this for
sick.
Uzuri kind of too, of giving her more if you want to block.
Yeah, having a
I
blue
agree.
stealth card
Very good in
that
Missouri.
supports your game plan, that also supports your defensive options. And then we have to assume that we're going to get at least a trap or 2 in this set. I mean, even if we don't, the 3 token traps are still totally fine.
Because we need one because there's a chance you turn into a brood person.
The token traps in the sense of frailty, inertia, blood rot, the 3, those are the only ones that assassins
the ones that
play.
give the
token.
tokens. Yeah, gotcha. That makes sense.
I also think it's interesting that we have 6 broods, and currently we have a Tarantula Toxin, Trapdoor is also a majestic, the Black Widow's a common, and then there's the one that makes you a Graphene and gives your stealth go again, or plus 3,
Weaver.
Weaver. So do we know the other 2 cards yet from the other broods?
Funnel Web or Redback? I don't think so.
So I'm assuming one of those will be a trap. But why is the Trapdoor not the trap? You'd be like, okay, what's going on here?
Okay, what's going on here?
All right.
What's going on here?
Yeah.
Kiss of Death is a red assassin action dagger attack.
This is a $60
No, Colin, this is a card. It's not a dagger. It's a card.
It's an action that's a dagger that is an attack that attacks for 3. It blocks for 3. Cool dagger that blocks for 3. Has stealth, and when this hits a hero, they lose 1 health. This is crazy, and it's an extended art. Wisney Tan, shout out, what's up?
And from now on, every single YouTube that says, what are the 5 pictures of people on cards in Flesh and Blood that you want to be a hero? The hot girl with the eye patch from Kiss of Death. She's on number 1 on my list. I wonder what her hero power would be. All her daggers are attack actions, and all her attack actions are daggers. And you'd be like,
shout out to Max Ferocity, who spoiled this and did the cosplay for this. Hella good. Hecka hella good.
Her hair is insane in this photo, by the way. Picture.
Is it the woman from Infiltrate? Does she have an eye patch?
No, I don't think so. And I still hold very closely that Infiltrate is the inspiration for New. They made Infiltrate. Oh, she does.
Boom! Does
She
have
has
an eye patch.
I was about to say, I know she does.
Who's
And
the
she's
assassin name
she's
now?
got a net around her, but that's kind of spidery net.
Yeah. But like infiltrate is like they literally printed it and then they were like, wait, this is a hero concept, would be kind of cool. And then they made new.
Shout out to a Swarty. Did infiltrate. Could be the same, just, a few years later, longer hair, went to the gym.
All right. Enough about her hair. This is a dagger attack action card. Are we now the dagger attack action podcast?
The Action Dagger Attack podcast.
Yes.
So it's not an attack action, is it? Is it
it is an attack action.
It is an attack
Both
action.
of those words are written in that line.
You know what?
Okay.
Just because they said a podcast could never be a dagger, here we are
been saying that for years.
Yeah. Attack action is a dagger. And so why can't a podcast be a dagger? It's
That's
just
right.
inspiring story right now.
I think this opens up so much design, and I think it's very interesting that all this creativity is all over Assassin. When there's a couple other classes, like maybe a warrior, maybe a guardian, maybe a brute, where it could have been like a guardian action hammer attack, and like hammers get, or actually that's probably more of a warrior thing of like your swords get plus whatever, or your axes have dominate, spill blood, but one of your wager attacks is also an axe attack. I'm very excited for cards like this moving forward, and I hope it goes to other things besides just it happened once with Kiss of Death and then never again. Because there's even some cards in Brute where it'll be like your next Brute attack, and sometimes it only says your next Brute attack action, where maybe if there was a way to like make your Romping Club count as an attack action card next turn, I'd be like, okay, now I can run more of those buffs.
So you can flick this, right?
You can flick it.
Because it's a non-active dagger attack.
So yes, you'd have to give it go again. You would have to have the combat chain remaining open, and you would have to attack after it to flick it, is my understanding.
Right. Which
you can't flick it
super
from your
easy.
hand, which
You have a marked hero, marked cards, stealth cards attacking a marked hero. Now just get go again. No problem.
Just get go again.
Yeah.
Just get go again.
It's no problem.
They put it on almost everything.
Yeah.
What's crazy with when you flick this is if you gave anything to this card, like Spike of Frailty or Spike of Blood Rot or Spike of Inertia, if you give it Toxicity, if you give it a Smashing Good Time or Hack to Reality, some cards that have not been used before.
Shit that says, quote, when this hits.
When this hits, your opponent's going to block out because they want to keep their item up, and then you just give it go again somehow with all your chances to give it go again, and then flick Knives, the Kiss of Death, it counts as hitting, and goodbye to their item.
Colin, Mark Ruffalo.
I have a question. Oh, wait, never mind.
Never mind, because it makes perfect sense and you totally get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the question was if you can
double dip.
What's the Welcome to Wraith attack reaction for daggers?
Razor Reflex?
Yeah. And it's of course you can because it already costs 0. So I think you can do that anyways, right?
You can do it twice.
Yeah.
But then if it hits, so Razor Reflex says if it hits, it gains go again.
Yeah.
So then if you flick this after you've razored it, do you get an action point?
The answer to all of your...
Well, it would be an active dagger flick. It has to be...
Oh, no, it's actually, they handled it. They covered it. This attack gains go again. So...
Yeah.
Okay.
Attack action cards. Yeah.
This
hits, this attack. Okay. Tight. That would be sick if you got an action point. But you would have to have it already have go again.
That's right.
Yeah.
Some other way.
So the answer to everybody's question in Thanksgiving time of when we saw Tarantula Toxin, and do you think they'll make a dagger with stealth on it?
They did.
We got it, graphing calculator, and then also this is the dagger with stealth that you can play Tarantula Toxin on, and your opponent goes, I'm going to block this out, and you with Tarantula Toxin, you go, actually, you didn't block shit, and it's going to come and do 6 damage to you, and now you're going to lose a health. And the on it happened, bitch. And it's going to be like, when do I block? I don't know when to block. Like, if you're not running 9 defense reactions against your assassin heavy meta, I would go to 12 or 15 defense reactions and just hope you draw them all the right time, and then they don't play that new card command item and just go, okay, I'm going to do this anyway. And you're like, God damn it. But the Brood has access to a thing every time.
What the fuck is this bullshit?
The blue one is stupid.
Mark of the Black Widow in full rainbow has stealth. When this hits a marked hero, they banish a card from their hand.
Have
9
you,
of these.
Have you ever seen a card called Pummel?
Yeah.
Did you know
What
it
if it was
is
worse?
also a common and came in rainbow colors?
It costs 2 and blocks for 2.
Yeah, but this also has to have a marked hero, so I don't know.
It does
Which we've
remind
already
me.
decided is very easy because of our Hunter's Klaive.
Hey, the Hunter's Balaclave.
It does remind me of like Frostfang though, where like you read it and you're like, oh my god, it's so crazy, and then it's gonna be like,
Dude, just wait till people
Everybody
run
learns.
9 of them,
Yeah.
and then you're just like, holy
They
shit!
won't.
I'm just saying, just wait.
I'm going to run the blue one, and you're going to go, I don't care. Then the 2 cards in my thing are going to be the instant marker discard and just a nick. And I'm going to do 6 damage to you. You're going to banish a card from your hand, and we're going to banish a card off the top of your deck as well.
And then banish another card from your hand. Oh, no, that's not how that works. That would be great, though.
okay,
If
but
you
that's
were
a 3
the blue
that's
one.
a 3 card 9. We can deal with that.
Zane,
Yeah,
if you
I
don't-
agree.
If you don't say this is busted, I'm going to freak out, Zane.
No, it's good.
I-
It's good. Like, I don't know if it's better than Infect. Like, I'm not sure it's better than Infect. Like, it's close to me. Like, it's probably better than Infect, but it's like in that regard, like it's in that field where it's like the
I mean,
stealth
you
card
could-
quality is insane. So like,
Yeah. And
You could,
Infect is like, so like you run it in Zuri sometimes, because it's just a good card on its own, but you swap it a lot of times. And you're not running it in new, and you're certainly not running it in Arachne Huntsman.
I am playing it anew for what it's worth. I played 2.
The blues?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're running the blues. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, like, if we're comparing it to Infect, it's not like it's like a little tech card that maybe gives you a few percentage pieces. It's not the backbone of
Yeah.
anybody's game plan, which is
You're
where it
not
should
a
be as a
backbone.
common.
Correct.
Blake,
Yes, Blake.
Okay. I think the one way to beat Assassin is to overrun them or high roll them. And so usually I'm going to put my Blood Rush in Arsenal, and hopefully I have 4 cards. And my opponent bricks, because there's some really bad stealth cards. And now it's getting to a point where you can never have a Blood Rush in Arsenal and 4 cards to go over the top against your Assassin hero, because all of their cards are going to say banish. Their hero power is going to say discard a random assassin card that's bricked to banish your opponent's either card from hand with Black Widow or card from Arsenal with the other one. We haven't even seen that card be displayed. I think there will be another one of these, probably a rare, that goes after your Arsenal. If that's in Rainbow, good lord. But like the card quality for Assassin is just astronomically high at this point. And I do think there is a case of why would you not play Assassin? Just like why would you not play Enigma? And Enigma, is it going to be like that's the thing that can stop Assassin? Is you have so much ward of like maybe we're making Enigma even more powerful. I know there's going to be Syndra, blah 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 blah, all that stuff. But it just seems like why like it's going to be a rush to find your Kiss of Deaths because they're going to be $95 in 2 weeks because everyone's going to be wanting to play Assassin.
I think also, I mean, it makes sense, right? People want to play the game, play their cards, and some people
See the world.
See the world, get upset when you don't get to play your cards, and it feels like you have slightly less agency and that sort of thing. So I get it, but like a lot of a lot of the things are still an issue for Assassin, right? Starved for action points. Yes, we can like transform into a brood hero now, but maybe like they're all pretty good, but maybe they're like not the right one for that moment. You know, there's a lot of what ifs. You know what I mean?
It's gonna be chaos.
It's gonna be chaos, and the warrior and ninja stuff also seems really powerful. I have a hard time looking at those cards because I don't care. You know, not my classes anymore. I only speak of, warrior. But I like Zane was saying, like when he said like these cards look really sick while everybody was telling stories, I went and looked at them and I was like, yeah, these are crazy. Like the play patterns for all three heroes are looking very robust and kind of new to what we've had before. And that's great. That's exciting. That's what a new set should do. You know what I mean?
For sure.
What's
Zane.
what's some stuff in Syndra and Fang that looks exciting?
Oh boy. All right. So the 3-cost Wrath of Retribution is like maybe the best ninja card ever printed. Like it's actually insane. Like it's so good. Like this card, like it attacks for 3. It'll likely be free when you play it most of the time because it gets cost reduced by your chain links. Then your daggers get +1 and you can do them for free. And so if you get this on a turn where you cast the, Blood Runs Deep. So again, it's 2 Majestics, but they work well together. If you get a turn where you get to do both of these, it's insane. Like if your turn is like Dagger, Blood Runs Deep, Wrath of Retribution, Activate Syndra, Kunai, like that's like a 3-card hand that does 1/1, 4, 3, 2/2, like, and that's like a bare minimum, right? Then you can Lava Burst at the end. You still theoretically have 1 floating here. You can do Breaking Point. You can do Dragon Power. Like, there's so many like crazy offensive lines you can do with Syndra.
I missed this whole thing where you destroy the daggers and she re-equips them. I was like, what do you mean you attack with dagger and then you dagger again?
Yeah.
This is fucked up.
It's cool though. Like it's fun. It's kind of like Phoenix Flames redone a little bit.
At least she doesn't get a cost reduction on her power, right?
She sure does.
Costs 1 less to activate for each dragon chain link you control.
Yeah.
And you technically control the dagger even if after you flick them.
Correct.
Yep.
And so she's going to be an insane Mask of Momentum user because let's say you block the second chain link, right? Like she goes dagger. You block the second dagger because you're trying to block out the Mask of Momentum trigger. She flicks the first dagger. So then Mask Momentum sees that the first 2 links have hit, right? That's how Mask works. And then now you have to block the third thing again to like prevent the Mask from drawing.
That's not real, is it?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And then you have Ignite. So Ignite cheats the cost curve, which is like just the better version of like Rising Resentment and like works with Shuko. So you can like Ignite into Flame Call Awakening, go get your Phoenix Flame, then you're off to the races. Like that's already 3 chain links for 5. That's 3 chain links for Wrath. Yeah, I think Syndra's insane. I think Fang is the least fleshed out. I think there's more commons or there's something missing with Fang that we haven't seen yet. But I think like
Fire and Brimstone that just got spoiled not too long ago?
It
I
got
put it
spoiled
in our-
during this.
Yeah, I put it.
I
in
think
our
that card
chat.
is really good. It's legendary, so it's certainly not like the thing that's going to make him all make sense. I think he's just missing like commons. Like he needs like more commons, which they're coming, right? But yeah, like the Syndra play patterns are already terrifying. Obviously, Assassin is too. I'm not trying to say that Assassin isn't getting juiced. They definitely are. But I think that this is going to be an interesting set, all in all.
Zane, can you sell me? Actually, I have 2 questions for you. What are they hiding from us? Because are we only going to get 1 chaos card and it's going to be spur locked, or are there going to be like 60 chaos cards?
I think that there will likely be very few. I think there will be a couple, is my guess. Again, there's people out there working hard on that number crunch file. I have like opened it for 2 seconds. I didn't look hard. I think that we very likely do get chaos cards, but I don't think that there will be like a lot of them.
Yeah, kind of like how there weren't that many mystic assassin cards.
Yeah.
The other thing is I know we have seen the least amount of Draconic Warrior, but if your Lumina is only going to be a legendary, you only have 1 copy of your Lumina. You only have 1 copy of your Stillblade Supremacy. You only have 1 copy of your Blood on Her Hands. You only have 1 copy of your Olympia card.
Well,
like I'm like,
he also has long whisker. Long whisker is kind of his Lumina too. So it's almost just like he got a 4th copy with Fire and Brimstone. Obviously, it's not the same card. It has some similarity, but yeah, I think what he needs is just like more draconic attack reactions, right? That's like literally how he functions. And then like a big part of draconic is rupture, and it's like, how is he getting to the 4th chain link? Like, you know, you got 2 of them covered with the daggers, but then like,
yeah,
you're gonna make him play. Like he's gonna probably want to play Blaze Headlong, but
that doesn't count because you didn't play red yet.
Right. So it's gonna be like dagger, red reaction, give it go again, Blaze Headlong, dagger, another red reaction, or reaction.
Bro, that
and
is
lava
that
burst.
is some hoops.
Yeah, exactly.
Why are there so many hoops? And I can't stand this. I'd literally fuck you, LSS, for putting all those goddamn assassin cards block 3, and then you have a firm loyalty, a rare is a block 2. Because the Bolton block 2 reaction, it's good, but you can't really put it in there because now there's all these 6 damage attacks that you need to be able to block with 2 cards, and I can't play a firm loyalty in my CC deck. I legitimately cannot do that.
Like I hope you're wrong, but I hear you.
Yeah.
Like I agree. I do think it's odd that it's 2 block.
Thank you, LSS, for our spoilers. I love being a part of spoilers. But why? Another one, Endear Devotion. 2 block. Is Warrior the best? Why is Assassin better at blocking than Warrior? And if it's reactions, I know every reaction I go look at for Assassin will have a 3 block. And if you have the Orb Weaver or whatever one we're missing of those 2 cards and they're 2 blocks, I'll shut up. But I doubt it.
Blake, we have to play Codex of Frailty, which blocks 2.
When's the last time you blocked with Codex, you bitch?
Oh, I've blocked with Codex a lot.
Yeah, you got to do it sometimes. The only thing so far I am, if I could critique anything for Assassin, it's we got another mask instead of a chest piece that we could actually use, so we don't have to use Tunic.
You got everything else, Taylor. We'll get you that chess piece 2 years from now.
One
Don't
day
worry.
we'll get a chess piece. Yeah, that'd be great.
The whatchamacallits, the Guardians still don't have a legendary legs, so it took 5 years to still not get that.
I just think it would be better than a mask just to force perdition.
I actually do like that they are kind of committing to put so much power in the headpiece for everybody, so that like it's very hard to choose and there are decisions. Like,
yeah,
I do think that's a
true.
conscious choice that like all these headpieces are crazy powerful and like they kind of compete with each other, and I think that's actually a good thing.
We have a Ninja legendary coming and we have a Draconic legendary coming. What do you think those will be?
No clue.
Probably legs, maybe for draconic legs, so that like we don't just have Snapdragon scalers forever. But who
They'll
knows?
still run
man?
the scalers.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are legendary.
So I feel like
We
Fang
also-
has to do dynamos too, or he's gonna like be just owned by daggers by everybody else.
I mean, they are reprinting Dynamos and Brave Forge Bracers in the Japanese. So then that does kind of like, you can read into that maybe the Draconic piece is chest or head, and then unlikely to be chest because of Furnace, but never know. Could be.
I just am pretty excited for this set for all parts. I'm excited to draft it. It seems like that's going to be really interesting, especially once we get the like hybrid cards, like the cards that are going to create tension in the draft. I think that's going to be really exciting.
Mm.
And then like I don't know what's going to happen with this meta, And I'm sure there's people out there who have their finger on the pulse more than me and are most likely also going to be wrong. But the classic constructed meta is going to be great, I think. Because it's like 3 heroes I think you could legit play to just add in here to what's already going on. Is anybody going to dethrone Zen here as the top doggy? I don't know, but Zen is going to be gone as soon as he wins that first calling when they're like, hey, there's a calling now that this set's out, and Zen wins, and then he's toast. And then we're like, okay, cool.
Toast.
It is funny that Zen, like the Zen state that Zen can use from Kasaya is like really good into all 3 of these heroes.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure to future proof them. So, I think, Colin, are you excited to be at 7 health and your opponent goes, "I'll swing a dagger for you," and then you go, "Sure, take it," and then they play 2 copies of the new card. What's it called? 2 sides to the blade, and you just die from 7 health. So you have to block a dagger from 7 health on for the rest of your life and slowly kill yourself. By the way, 2 sides of the blade has block 3 on it. So it already happened of a reaction that's common has a block 3. And why does that card not have block 2?
Because it costs 1.
Warrior has the fridge though, Blake. Come on.
Yeah, they have the fridge, bro.
I got a fridge, bro. A fridge.
What's that?
To answer your question, no. I'm not excited about that. Because everybody loves playing Assassin, which makes it annoying to play Assassin because then you just play a lot of Assassin mirrors, which is like that's like my contrarian fucking bullshit kicks in when that starts happening. I'm just like, well, I'll just play something else then. It's like, but I really just want to play Assassin, but then I don't enjoy it just playing mirrors all the time. But maybe it'll be fun. I don't know. I haven't played in fucking ages because life is tough. And Tuesdays no longer work for my schedule, so I'm without an armory right now. And I don't even know where my cards are, so I have to find that too. But I am excited for Limited and maybe the pre-release if I can get to one. But yeah, I think it looks fun. The cards look great. The names are a little revengeancy.
We've made it really far into the episode without saying that the like art is incredible in the set. Which
the
I
art.
know we're annoying
yeah.
and say that every time, but it's
Art's
very
great.
impressive that they continue to nail the flavor so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the art direction across all of them really, like looking at that on the page, they all feel like they're from the same set, which I think can be hard sometimes. But I think the last couple sets, they've really nailed that kind of like overall tone and kind of color palette, which just looks tight. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. The Junted, it's here. January 31st, right? That's the day.
Yeah,
That
that
Yes.
sounds
was
right.
released?
But
End
we'll
of the
see
month.
it all in action this weekend at the world premiere in Prague.
Oh, in Prague.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Okay. You guys ready for some more thought process?
No.
Quickly.
I'm ready to edit this video tonight.
Okay.
What's your
Everything
thought
is
process?
everything that you instant discard to get a bonus is block 2, except for some of the wizard ones from last time around.
So not everything.
Wait, both the wizard ones block 3.
But there was a wizard one that didn't, called Chorus of the Amphitheater. So I don't know what they're doing with some are 3, some are 2.
I don't. Why are you going after assassin right now when you literally play assassin?
I'm Florian main, bro. tell me how it is, bro. Watch this tree come in for
Get
a rune
ready
chant
to
for
learn
4.
Enigma, buddy.
Oh my god.
Let's go.
Okay, this has been great. Thank you, LSS, for all the efforts, and we're so proud of you. See you in Prague.
Yeah, we'll see you in Prague. You fuck.
Taylor, check your mail tomorrow and tell us what mat you got.
Yeah, would love to see the mat, and proof that this card's true. We haven't seen the real card yet. Maybe it's all a hoax, and we've been bamboozled.
That would
We
be
just
the
got a
funniest
prank
option of this.
spoiler. It's actually not a real card.
Oh my god! Because it got spilled early, it gets ripped up instead.
I would be upset. Yeah, the package, I checked it this morning. It was like, it's in Louisville, Kentucky. Delayed a day. I'm like, well, that's is very far away in the country. No way this shows up tomorrow. I don't know. It's in cut. I don't know.
They
I don't know
didn't send
how
it
it works.
directly from New Zealand. Where is it coming from?
It is coming from New Zealand. I don't know why it didn't come into
the other way. It went the other way.
It could have dropped it off the plane and it got closer to you.
Yeah, it probably flew past my house and into Louisville. Maybe that's why they're like, uh-oh, what's this doing here? Who knows? Maybe we have a listener who's a part of UPS or DHL or whatever.
Marcus works for one of those.
Nice. Well, I'm excited for everything. I was glad to hang out with you guys. Thank you, everybody who's just been here for this whole episode. I hope everybody enjoyed our cinematic masterpiece. I think it definitely has added itself to the pantheon of our cinematic productions. Thank you, Zane and Blake, for being a part of your first Attack Action podcast. What should we call it? Multiverse production that we have going on here. It's a storied history when it goes back to T-Bone and the frozen token, etc. So
yeah, we went so far as to make up our own spoiler. We started our own hoax.
Yeah. So congratulations to you guys. Congratulations to us. Congratulations to everybody. And again, lots of love, support. Hearts go out to everybody in Los Angeles area who's been affected by the fire in any way. Just love everybody. And I hope everybody has a good 2025.
It's got to get better.
We're off to a great start.
Yeah. Hiss of Death comes out in cold foil. That card's gonna be $99. $100.
It comes in cold foil?
Oh yes, I just saw that. Let's go.
Wait, where'd you see that?
It's on the one where you can do all. I don't know if it's February or not, but
bro, if Call to the Grave is a fucking $100 card, this is a $200 card.
$1 million card.
$1 million.
I'll do $1, Bob.
See you guys in 11 hours for our spoiler.
Thank you,
What?
Okay,
Colin, for
bye.
editing.
They were already here. Bye. James White. Just tell me who to kill.
It's definitely Blake.
Good.